Well, greetings to my church family. I want you to know that we all miss you very much. And I hope you're well. I hope your families are healthy and strong and safe during this time of quarantine. You know, many of you have expressed your gratitude for these fireside talks, saying how much you appreciate being able to see and hear from your pastors on a regular basis. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad we're able to do these. It's been kind of fun. I know also some of you are taking advantage of the virtual handshake on Sunday mornings. And when we get together in that Zoom meeting, and people have said how much fun it is to see each other's faces and interact with each other a little bit on Sunday mornings. I hope that most, if not all of you, have been able to watch our services online during this time away, or maybe watch it on DVD later on. Some of you have told me how you're really digging into Right Now Media these days, taking advantage of some of that phenomenal teaching available in that resource. And so I really encourage you to check that out if you haven't done that already. But wouldn't you agree with me that as great as all these resources are, all these electronic resources and methods, as great as they are and as thankful as we are for them, it's just not the same as being together in church? I mean, wouldn't you agree that at the end of the day, it's just kind of unsatisfying? Well, if you're feeling that way, there's a very good reason for that. And like many things, the reason is actually theological. And here's the reason. It's because we are created in God's image. Think with me for a moment about that famous verse, John 3:16. You know the verse. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but will have everlasting life. Notice what that verse does not say. The verse does not say, God so loved the world that he sent us an email, right? It doesn't say, God so loved the world that he set up a website or he established a Zoom meeting with us. It doesn't say, God so loved the world that he sent us a prophet. He sent Moses, or he gave us the law. It doesn't even say, God so loved the world that he gave us the Bible. Because as great as all of these things are, we don't just need a book about God. We need God himself. We need God to come and live among us, to dwell among his people. And that's why God took on human flesh. That's why God became incarnate, so that he could dwell among us, so that we could see God. We needed to hear God with our ears. We needed to be able to reach out and touch God, to feel him. We needed to smell God. And so God took on human flesh. He became incarnate. God is inherently incarnational, and we are created in his image, so he made us in the flesh as well. And he hardwired us to be in relationship with God and with one another. And then God established the church to be inherently incarnational. He made us to live together, to dwell together as a communal people, hardwired us for that relationship. And that's why it feels unsatisfying for us what we're doing right now. So as great as Zoom is, it's not the church, is it? And it's great as the services are and the website, it's not the church. A service isn't church. We are the church. We are the people of God. We are designed to gather together, to be together. There's just no substitute for being together in each other's presence, right? There's just no substitute for sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder with fellow believers to sing the praises of God. There's just no substitute for a hearty handshake or a warm hug. There's no substitute for being able to reach out and put our hands on one another and pray for one another when we're going through a crisis or a hardship. There's just no substitute for those things. We are designed to be incarnational, to be together, physically present with one another. You know, imagine if we decided to have a potluck, a virtual potluck. And so I sent you a video of me eating food. And then you sent me a video of you eating food. Well, that might be kind of nice. It might be interesting to see what you're eating. It might look really good, but ultimately, wouldn't that be unsatisfying? There's just no substitute for being physically present, is there? To sit at the same table, to be able to look at each other in the eye, to have conversation face to face, right? To share food with one another, to share each other's food. We need that because we were hardwired with incarnation in the DNA of the church. God made us to be highly relational creatures because we're made in his image. God is incarnational. He's made the church to be incarnational. And that's why I would suggest that all of what we're doing right now, as necessary as it might be, as loving as it might be, it's ultimately unsatisfying. And it should be. In fact, if you are watching our services online and you're thinking, wow, this is great. In fact, I don't see any difference at all. I get all the same stuff from watching the video online as I get on going to being with the people in the church building. If that's what you're thinking, then I am thinking, we're doing something wrong. We're not doing church right if that's as satisfying as being together physically. So we will gather together again. This is not forever. We will reconvene in corporate setting to worship God together. We will one day sit again side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and sing God's praises and pray for one another and lay hands on each other and hug one another and greet one another and be together again. We will, because that's the nature of the church. We are designed to be incarnational because God is incarnational and we're made in his image. It's who God is, it's who we are. And so we will rejoin together one day. In the meantime, may God bless you and encourage you as you seek and serve our Savior in a scattered manner. Until we meet again, friends, God bless you.